Why are you treating religion like a plague? From my research, 25% of Dutch churches are now being used for non-religious purposes. Is that bad? Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here or seeing my face for the first time, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for all your love and support. It means so much to me. Okay, so guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about religion and the Netherlands. Okay, what it feels like being a Christian in the Netherlands. Before we even step into this topic and start talking about it, let me give you a little history. So the Netherlands was historically dominated by Christianity. Even up until the late 19th century, 95% of the population were Christians. According to Google, 60% were considered Calvinist and 35% were considered Catholic. This was just late 19th century, okay? Let's just fast forward to the 21st century. Let's see. Fast forward to the Netherlands of today, guys. 54% of the Dutch 15 years and older do not associate themselves with any religious group. Are you listening? The Netherlands is now considered one of the most secular countries in the world and one of the least religious countries in Europe. How many percent are Christian? Let's find out. Only 35% of Dutch people associate themselves with Christianity, and that's not even where it ends. From my research, 25% of Dutch churches are now being used for non-religious purposes. 1 in 5. Is that bad? Okay, that's not all. That's not all, guys. They also believe that religion is a personal matter and should not be discussed in public. Guys, it's very surprising that the Dutch people are very vocal when it comes to every other topic except religion. Okay guys, so if you've made it to this part of the video, let's continue. Let me give you a little history about where I'm coming from, okay? Over 99% of Nigerians believe in God and associate themselves with some form of religion. I was born in the eastern part of Nigeria, and the eastern part of Nigeria is predominantly Christian. So I was born literally into Christianity. It was common practice to go to church every Sunday. For some families, it's non-negotiable. For my family, it was negotiable sometimes, but for the most part, we went to church every Sunday. In addition to that, in Nigeria, we're very, very vocal about our religion. So it's normal for people to talk about God in public, in private, at work, everywhere. You can literally start a conversation in Nigeria with "thank God." Like, that's what we do. When someone asks you, "How was your day?" "Thank God it went well." So I'm going to start out with talking about things that were really, really surprising to me as a Christian when I came to the Netherlands, okay? The first experience I had, just like I said, was that people don't talk about their religion. I think the shock wasn't dealing with the fact that over 50% of the Dutch people were not religious. Is the fact that the remaining 46% prefer not to talk about it. They consider it private. That was the shock, and that was the one that was difficult for me, because I was already used to having God somewhere in my conversation. When I'm talking to my supervisor at work and he asks me, "How are you doing?" I want to say, "I'm doing fine, thank God." Or when he asks me, "How is your son doing?" I am tempted to say, "My son is doing well, praise God." Do you get what I mean? Like, I want to include God in my conversation. So you need to understand where I'm coming from when I couldn't do that. Not that anybody stopped me, but because it wasn't common practice, nobody talks about it, nobody wants to talk about it. If you bring up religion, people just don't want to talk about it. They don't want to associate themselves with it. Why are you treating religion like a plague? I don't know. So guys, yeah, that was my first experience as a Christian. My second experience was the fact that people don't go to church, okay? People don't go to church. Even the 35% that claim to be Christians, when was the last time they went to church? 80% of Dutch people, 80% of Dutch people rarely or never attended the service. Guys, let that sink in. It's not common for them to go to religious gathering, and it's not common for you to invite people to religious gathering. So I think that was also one thing I found difficult, because religion is such a topic that is not discussed, that is not open for discussion. I found it weird inviting people to church. I have to take permission sometimes. I have to tell the person, I don't know if you are religious, but I would like to invite you to church or something like that. And yeah, to be honest, when you invite people to church, they are actually curious. Sometimes they come, they're just curious to see what it feels like being in church. Another thing that surprised me as a Christian when I came to the Netherlands is that the Dutch people celebrate a whole lot of Christian holidays. So the Dutch people actually celebrate more Christian holidays than we do in Nigeria. That is really strange, considering the fact that they are not a religious country. They do celebrate Ascension Day, Pentecost, Good Friday, Easter holidays, and Christmas as well. In Nigeria, we don't celebrate Ascension Day, we don't celebrate Pentecost. We only celebrate Good Friday, Easter, and Christmas. So it was surprising that for a non-religious country that they had quite a number of religious holidays. But I think it has to do with their history as a Christian country. Another thing that surprised me was the way these guys take Christmas. The way these guys celebrate Christmas. Hey, we don't celebrate it that much in Nigeria. The way they take Christmas holiday very personal. You would think that, man, these guys are really, really religious. But no, I've asked a few of my friends, like, you're celebrating Christmas, but you're not religious. And they're like, well, it's something we've always celebrated. We don't care. Like, we really like our Christmas holiday and we celebrate it really, really well. So these guys really don't take their Christmas holiday as a joke. And it's very funny to think that they're not religious and they celebrate Christmas this much. Is really exciting. Comment below if you're Dutch. Let me know if you like to celebrate your Christmas holiday and if you're religious or not. Just let me know. Yeah, another thing that was surprising to me was that Dutch people actually have Christian political parties. Wow, that was surprising because this is not something we have in Nigeria, even though Nigeria is a religious country. So this is not common in Nigeria. Like, I don't know of any political party that is just Christian or Muslim. No, most times it's like a blend of everything, and they can have candidates who are either Muslim or Christian. So we don't have like a political party that is Christian or a political party that is Muslim, at least none that I know of. Okay, so it was quite surprising to see that even though the Netherlands is not religious, they have people in parliament from political parties that are religious. Okay, political parties that are founded based on Christian ideologies and belief systems, which I find really interesting because this is not what we have. We don't have that in Nigeria. So having talked about those things that were shocking, or those things that were a bit more difficult for me to adapt, the next thing I'll talk about is how I have been able to navigate my beliefs, my religion, my life as a Christian here in the Netherlands. One thing I like about the Dutch people is that even though they're not religious people, they are a bit more open-minded and they respect people's religious preference. At least that has been my experience. So even though, yes, I'm a Christian, I have not been treated differently or I have not been treated strangely because of my religion or my opinion as a Christian. I've had a few discussions with Dutch people that are not religious, and we've had conversations regarding maybe Dutch laws that are not in line with the Christian belief systems, and we've been able to have these conversations openly without feeling weird about each other, right? They just respect that, okay, you're religious and that's it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not in their business or whatever, they're good. You can do you, okay? Another thing that I've done since I came over was to find people who shared similar religious beliefs as I did. I would always recommend here in the Netherlands that if you're religious or if you're Christian, to find a religious organization that you can become part of, one that suits you. For instance, when I came into Delft, here in Delft, Netherlands, I searched for churches in Delft, and I started out with International Christian Fellowship in Delft. It's like an international gathering of Christians from different backgrounds and everything. So I started out with them. We used to meet at Nieuwekerk in Delft every Sunday. So I used to go there until I started going to Hillsong Church in Rotterdam. That was before the lockdown. During the lockdown, I was attending church service online and have been doing so ever since. Another thing I've noticed about myself as a Christian here in the Netherlands is that I've become a bit more critical as a Christian. In Nigeria, it's either you're a Christian or a Muslim. Being religious is just part of the culture, and being religious is just what you do. So like a lot of times people don't question your religion. You don't question like, why am I a Christian? Why do I believe in God? Like, it's not common to ask those type of questions in Nigeria, right? Because like, you're just a Christian. You were born a Christian. Christianity is what we do, and period. People don't really question their religious leaders. People don't really ask questions about religion and why we should do some certain things. But coming into the Netherlands and seeing people that are a bit more open-minded has actually moved me to become very intentional about my religion, to ask questions. So if there is anything I don't understand about my Christianity or something in the Bible, or if maybe my religious leader says something that I don't agree with, I'm very open to kind of ask questions, to say, I don't agree with this, what do you think? And all of that. So like, I've become a bit more critical as a Christian, and I think it has made me a better Christian, because now I don't just follow things blindly or just because my pastor said so. I ask questions, I want to understand more. I just want to know better, and it has helped me to be more inquisitive, to learn more about my religion. Okay. Another thing that has happened to me since I came here in the Netherlands is that I have been a bit more open-minded. Okay, so in Nigeria, just like I said, we are Christians because we are Christians. We are Muslims because we are Muslims. That's it. Okay, you're born into a certain state. It can literally determine whether you're Christian or Muslim, literally for the rest of your life, because you barely would have no other religion or no other ideologies like staring up at you. Okay, so but because here in the Netherlands there are a lot of people with different ideologies and a lot of belief systems, it has made me a bit more open-minded. Okay, so I'm now more open to have conversations with people who are not Christian, to understand them, to understand where they're coming from, which I think is a good thing. I think I've become more open-minded to have religious conversations with people who do not share the same religious beliefs as I do. And it really helps to kind of be more understanding, to be more accommodating, and to be less judgmental. Actually, it helps. But another thing I would say that is not really a positive is like a negative. Since people are not very religious here and don't really talk about their religion, sometimes it can be a lonely place. Okay, the only people that get you really are people in church. It is not common to be able to find someone that you're relatable with on a religious level. Okay, so you can have friends that you can relate with in every other aspect except religion, and it matters because there are some things also, maybe when you're going through difficult times in life and your belief system, your religious beliefs come into play at that point, it can really be a lonely place, especially if you don't have that religious community around you. It can really be a lonely place, and that's the only downside of it all as a Christian. That when you come here, you have to be really, really conscious to find other Christians or other people who believe in your same religion. You have to find them to be able to find support, to be able to have people that you can relate with, because on a daily basis, on a normal day, you don't just run into people like that randomly. Okay, not because they are not Christians around, but because they don't talk about their religion. You don't even know. Overall, it has been good. I haven't had any problem at all being religious here in the Netherlands. I've been free to practice my religion. I've been able to meet people who are also Christian that I can relate with on a religious level. So if I have a problem and I want someone to pray with me, I have been able to find those people. Okay guys, so yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing to my channel, guys. Support your girl, it will mean so much to me. I'm a new YouTuber and I'm trying to build my channel, so all your love and support will mean so much to me, guys. Okay, comment below if you're religious, if you're not religious, if you live in the Netherlands, or if you live in a non-religious country like the Netherlands. Let me know how you've been able to navigate your religious beliefs as well. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you once again for watching, and see you in my next one. Bye.